So, welcome everybody. I am Julie Wade with Taziki's Mediterranean Cafe. If you're not familiar with our brand, we are rapidly approaching 100 units based mainly in the Deep South. We do go as far as Denver, Dallas, and up some into the Midwest. We are a fast casual Mediterranean concept, but we are uniquely Taziki's. We are not strictly Mediterranean. We have a little bit of a Southern fusion in there, so that makes us a little bit unique. And we have, like I said, almost 100 units growing literally every week. Another unit opening in New Orleans on Friday will be a new market for us. So I've got two fellas here with us. We're gonna have a little fireside chat today about loyalty programs. So Deric, you want to introduce yourself?
Sure, I'm Deric Rosenbaum. I'm the president of Groucho's Deli and I suppose resident CTO. Groucho's Deli is an 82-year-old brand based out of Columbia, South Carolina. We started franchising in 2002. Today we have 31 units and we're known for hot open-faced dippers, salads, and traditional deli as well.
Great.
Sounds really good. Hi, I'm Adam Griffith. I'm the VP of IT for Original Chop Shop. We're a 10-year-old brand based out of Dallas, Texas area, but we were founded in Phoenix, Arizona. The group of partners with me, we bought the brand in 2016 when it was a 3-unit brand. We've since expanded it to 21 units. We're in Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, and Atlanta. All company-owned units, and we're a better-for-you brand. We've got protein bowls, juices, salads, sandwiches, shakes, and we deal in all 3 day parts.
Oh, great. So we're going to talk about loyalty today. We're going to talk about the process, the pitfalls, and personalization. So we're going to start with the process, which it's kind of funny that I'm talking about loyalty because really we don't have a loyalty program. I like to say we have a rewards program because we're one of those that we're probably giving away what our customers would have already paid for anyway. We know that we need to upgrade our system to a robust loyalty program. And when I agreed to do the panel months and months ago, I was like, oh, great, okay, well, we're gonna be well on our way to rolling out a new loyalty program in third quarter of 2023, and we are not. We have hit some stumbles along the way, and we are not able to do that, but I've been researching it for, it seems like 2 years now. So I feel like I'm an expert on what I want it to be, it's just, I haven't gotten there yet. Through technology and partners and just other reasons have not gotten it to where we want it to be, but we know where we want it to go. So when we were designing the program, we knew that the process that we wanted, the end result that we were looking for was one-to-one marketing. That was really what our CEO knew that we wanted to get to, and a good loyalty program was a good way to get there so that we could have that individualized marketing with our customers. So when y'all were putting together your loyalty program, what was your end result? What were you looking for, Adam?
Yeah, ultimately, so we had an online ordering system prior to COVID. We rolled out loyalty in August of 2020. We had the plan to do it in late 2019. It is a process, right? There's a lot of stakeholders in the room, or should be in the room, and I'll make that recommendation. You've got to have the marketing people, the technology people, and don't forget finance because they don't want to find out it costs too much later on. But ultimately, we wanted to grab more customer data. We had OLO data that had been coming in for a handful of years, but we wanted to find a way to reward the people that were coming to us and find a way to grow our business. I always tell people the difference between a $1.8 million chop shop and a $2 or $3 million chop shop is not how well lunch is going. Lunch is always going great at Chop Shop. It's how I get people into breakfast and how I get people into dinner. So we wanted to get the customer data. We wanted to shift the customers into different day parts. And it's been a journey. I mean, we'll keep talking about it, but it's been fun.
So what about y'all, Deric?
So as I said, we're an 82-year-old brand. I mean, currently the 4th generation is working in our business now. And in some form or another, we've had some sort of loyalty program, rewards program since the 50s, really. I mean, we
Did y'all
found
have the old punch card thing?
No, we have stacks of wooden nickels with the Groucho's logo on one side and a free cup of coffee on the other side.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a customer found one years ago, and he's like, "You want to buy this? It's probably worth a lot of money." I'm like, "We have like 20 rolls, so we're good." But I mean, we had a Groucho's club in the 70s, you know, and then, you know, when things started evolving in 2012, like our first like real attempt at some sort of digital loyalty, it was you know, an E3 reader, and it was a swipe card, dual purpose, loyalty and gift. As the technology's evolved, we're similar to you is more of a rewards, and we call it the Groucho's Reward Program. Mm-hmm. Where the ideology is probably split a little is, I don't know that I see it that way, but for me, you know, we're here talking about loyalty. You have to ask, what is loyalty, right? You know, why do we do loyalty? Now we do loyalty for a more refined data profile about our customers, right, and understand their habits. And, you know, getting that data into my Bicky CDP so then I can do that segmentation to get that one-on-one marketing and understand their life cycles and the journeys and the things that they're doing.
Are you only getting the customers that are signed up for your loyalty into your CDP, or are you getting other customers
it's
as well?
omni-channel, so we're obviously not getting the third parties, right? But
Right.
if you're trackable and marketable, we're getting that data and we are segmenting that to use it. So, you know, when you talk about loyalty today, and I really, this has been a good challenge for me because it's made me like stop and think and like reevaluate. And then I looked at all the data and I'm like, all right, we're on the right course, right? And if you really distill loyalty down to what it is, it's inclusiveness. It's not exclusive, it's inclusive. And, you know, there's lots of hot buzzwords around loyalty now, around, you know, bespoke and curated. And, you know, bespoke is a handmade pair of shoes. It's not a $10 sandwich, right? And I think it's getting overcomplicated, and you can do those things and use the loyalty engine or the rewards engine to get the data, then put that data into these marketing engines to do those things and not make it a complicated process. For me, it should be low hurdle, easy. We're earn and burn. Keep it simple. There's no thresholds. There's no barriers. We give you 1 point for every dollar you spend. It has a cash redemptive equivalent of 6 cents. You spend $1, you have 6 cents on your loyalty account to spend however you want in our organization. So for me, that's kind of the approach we're taking, and our data says all day long that it's working.
Have you always been at a 6%?
Always.
Always.
Always. I mean, we tweaked it before. It was like when we used to have hurdles, so you'd earn 80 points to get $5, and that worked out to like 0.6333 cents. And, you know, APIs don't like rounding those kind of long numbers, so we made it a whole number, and that took care of some problems with platforms talking.
Yeah. Well, one of the things when we started our one-to-one marketing journey, and knowing that we wanted to upgrade our loyalty, the loyalty was really just a smaller part of that. So we're kind of going down the same road that you are with the CDP and getting our customer data. And so we've invested in those technology tools so that we can talk to all of our customers, and then the loyalty is just one part of it. So when I say we haven't done what we wanted to with the loyalty part of it, that's true, but we have on the other side. So we are being able to very soon, just in the next couple of weeks, launch our new communication platform where we will have the email, the SMS, and the push notifications all through our app with a new partner where we'll be able to segment those customers both through our CDP and then again, even into smaller batches with our email provider so that we can start getting into just the minutia of whatever. When we met with the CDP provider the first time, they said, okay, what do you want to know off of the ticket? And I said, everything. I want to know everything that's on there. I want to be able to segment them by day part, by menu item, location, every single thing that's on there. I want to be able to break it down into every way that's possible. So I'm almost salivating at being able to do that once that everything is all set up. kind of the next step in that process of getting a loyalty set up is all of those technology partners that we have to work with, integrating them and making them all be nice and work and play well together. How do you do that? Have you been able to navigate that effectively?
Yeah, it's a challenge, which I think that's why a lot of us are here, right? You might have a point of sale that you're very committed to. You've had it for a number of years, which is sort of where we were at when we rolled out loyalty. And our loyalty partners, Paytronics, are here at the show. They're great. We had them starting years earlier just for gift cards. So we sort of knew we wanted to grow the platform. As we've progressed in the restaurant journey and we have all these great new technology partners out there, I'm battling today. We want to roll out a kiosk, but we want to offer the same loyalty experience in the kiosk that a guest will get at the register, that a guest will get on Olo, that'll also get in our white label app. Like, it's an endless amount of integration. So you have to be very conscious of it. And look, there was a slide in another one of the presentations that said you're a small restaurant company if you're under 250 units. And I was like, boy, what? And the medium was 2,500 units to 250 units. And I'm like, there's a lot of us in the 250 and under, and there's not a lot of people in the 2,500 and over. And something I'd love to see from everybody in the room is trying to figure out a way to sort of shift the power back into our court. It's like, can I get 21 unit Chop Shop, 100 unit Taziki's, 30 unit Groucho together, and let's campaign for some of these partners to integrate better, because as you could probably hear, we're still struggling with that piece, and that's the piece. The marketing team will have a big, great idea, and it's like I'm in the back going, well, we might have to pull back on that a little bit, or we're going to have to do this, but not that. And I hate being that guy in the room, but I know the marketing team doesn't like it in my organization. But yeah, so there's a journey there.
Yeah, our director of technology and I are pretty much BFFs.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Every call I take, I'm like, yeah, let me loop in our director of technology, because there's no reason for me to even entertain a conversation with a new partner until I'm sure from a technology standpoint that it's going to be able to work, because everybody says, we have an open API. Okay, great, yay, okay. But does it work with what we have?
Right.
And then getting to the root of that is really
You get this
Yeah, exactly.
all the
Every
time.
day.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. What about your journey with that, Deric?
Same thing, and I'm a firm believer in open bidirectional APIs and not this closed loop model. And there's around best of fit for your brand's objectives. Like, a loyalty provider might not be the best of fit for Taziki's, but it might be great for what I'm trying to achieve, right? And that's not necessarily best of class. It can be. It might not be. But yeah, APIs and integrations they're difficult and they're challenging and they take a lot of testing. I mean, I'll give you a use case where we're experiencing a problem right now. So we recently rolled out our new website, completely optimized for ordering, right? So we're like, let's reskin the app in the online ordering to give it that same look and feel, so the customers, it's uniform across the platforms. Tested, rolled it out, works beautifully online. If you go into the app, you can't redeem your loyalty points. Like, you click the button and nothing happens, right? So, but then it's a matter of communicating. And if you set the expectation with the customers and over-communicate, you're gonna have these problems. You're gonna have these problems, and you have to communicate. Don't stick your head in the sand like the technology providers, and they pop out when it's fixed. Don't be that to your customers.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the pitfalls. So one of the things that has really made us want to pivot from the type of rewards program that we have right now is how expensive it is. When the program was first designed, and this predates my lifespan at Taziki's, they thought it would be about 1% on the P&L line as far as redemptions go. It is upwards of 2 to 2.5% of the discount line in a lot of stores. When the total marketing spend is between 5 and 6%, and then you've got your national ad fund that comes out of that as well, and then you have that discount line. I mean, you see that leaves a very, very small portion for that customer acquisition and really anything else that we want to do. So that, first of all, is one of the things that we knew that we really had to change, was trying to make that more beneficial for our operators while making it good for the guest as well. Because we obviously don't want to make it, hey, guess what? We're changing our loyalty program and it's really going to suck for you, but it's going to be a whole lot better for us. We don't want that. So what pitfalls in your loyalty program would you recommend that people try to avoid?
Yeah, no, I came from a consulting background, so I feel like I love saying this, 15 years ago in consulting projects. If there's any way you can know your requirements before you go to the vendors, I mean, if you let the vendors drive the conversation, they'll sell you something. It'll probably work like 70% of what you need, but that last 30% will be incredibly, incredibly frustrating for you. So know your requirements, talk to all the stakeholders, which I know I've already said, and just try to figure that out. I mean, that is something, I feel like we didn't do the best job at. We knew we wanted to do some sort of discounting, but we maybe never talked about exactly the programs we wanted to run. So, I want to, of course, give away an LTO, but maybe I want to do a week-long or a month-long program in January to push business at the new year. Well, we didn't sit down and think about that before we selected a provider or before we selected a point of sale or a kiosk. It's really every technology solution. So get all your stakeholders in the room, get those requirements. And if you have a formalized RFP process, if you're a mature organization, do it. If you're a small organization, don't be scared to try it, right? I mean, you'll get farther than if you didn't do it at all.
Good advice.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And then, your customers' opinions, and especially for an established brand. A newer brand is a little different, and you can build that from backwards to the front. Us it's different. I mean, we're 4 or 5 generations of customers dine with us in our legacy markets. So there's challenges around that, and for us, it's educating the consumer when we make these changes, and over communicating. But with the established brands, the customer has to have a seat at that table. It's what do they want, right? Not what necessarily I want, because if I'm doing it what I want, what I think I need, but they don't engage with it, then what's the point? So
when you roll out a new, whether it's a new feature or a completely, you go from your little token things to a new technology, how do you communicate that to your guest, and what would you recommend best practice-wise as how to communicate that? How far out do you need to start letting guests know, hey, this is going to change, something is going to happen?
Well, at first, if it's new, you need to pilot it, extensively pilot and vet it and make sure it's fully functioning.
Sure.
If it's a new product.
How long do you recommend that pilot to be?
1 to 4 months, depending on the 1 to 4 months, depending on the tool.
Yeah. 90 days is usually about what we.
Yeah. And then, but for us, our best communication tool is email, hands down. I mean, we have an amazing open rate, and a lot of that has to do with the content that's put in there, and it's engaging. And so if you can capture that eyeball on that tagline or whatever it is, and then bring them in and then educate them and then train your staff with the elevator speeches and the talk, and it's right there on the CDS when you go to check out. So I mean, we're prompting anyway, but getting your staff to engage too and make that eye contact and educate the customer.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any tips on how to do that?
Educate the operators. I feel like not a lot of IT people always think about the operators in the restaurant business, but we are in the restaurant business. We could have a great platform, a great technology, a great process that we've all sat at the home office and developed, but if it hits the back door of that restaurant and the operators aren't bought in, it's DOA, right? I mean, it's dead on arrival. So, I cannot stress enough, even franchise environments I know are very complicated. I came from one before this, but if you own your stores or you're a franchise organization, find a way to get it out there. And that's probably another session where we talk about learning tools, but that's our big thing. And we failed at that early on, right? It's like we're all smart at the office and we know exactly what we want, but if the operators, we didn't test it, if we rolled it out too fast, if we didn't communicate to the guest, it just ended up sort of falling on its face.
But not just the tool, but the value proposition of the tool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, not to go down this rabbit hole too far, but we realized this past year that we had really kind of left out, trained the operator, but still things were not getting to the cashier level and the people that were constantly in touch with our guests. So over the course of this year in 2023, we've had a very concerted effort to get to the store level and communicate directly with those frontline employees so that, yes, we're getting to the operator, but we're also getting down to the store level. So whatever it is that's happening, I mean, we can create the most beautiful marketing campaigns and we can create all of these wonderful tools, but if they're not using it at the store, then it's all for naught.
Yep.
So we've really tried to elevate them and their importance in our store so they're not just order takers, but they are really the ambassadors for the brand for us. Okay, we've talked about the process. We've talked about a couple of pitfalls. What was our third P? Personalization. Thank you, Jesse. Yes, personalization. So everybody wants a personalized experience. They want their app to do something different, their loyalty program to do something different. So how do you give the guest that personal experience? And then how do you make your app or your loyalty program personalized for your brand? So that's kind of a two-part question there. So make it personalized for your brand and personalized for your guest.
Yeah, so we have a white label product, right? We rolled it out at between 14 and 15 stores. So I'm not going to have a beautiful custom front end. I need to go to somebody in this room and help them or get them to help me put together something that looks like, hopefully works as good as somebody said in one of the earlier sessions, whether you're 20 units or you're Starbucks, they expect it to work like Starbucks does. So, we went to our provider and the thing that we kept asking is like, show me everything that could be customized. And then they would show it to us and I said, show me again, or, what about that button, or what about that message touch point? Everything in your app, hopefully, if it's a white label app, should have your look and feel. And sometimes you have to challenge the vendors on that, right? Like they're doing their job, they want to rubber stamp their projects and get them out there to market quickly. But it's up to you guys as the restaurateurs to make sure that you are injecting yourself into every part of that app, into every part of that program. Because ultimately, for us, I'm trying to earn a space on someone's phone, right? We all have a million apps on our phone. It's like, why does Original Chop Shop get to be on my guest's phone? You've got to give them that unique proposition, that brand that they love when they come into the store. Give them every part of your brand in their pocket, if possible.
I mean, so for us, our loyalty engine's built into our point of sale solution, which is fully integrated into our white label app product. So for ordering and our mobile responsive web ordering. And so I see it as two prongs, like loyalty rewards is here. This is giving me the data I need. I'm seeing their life cycles, the journeys, the things that they're doing, how they're engaging at a PMix level, retention around PMix. And then I'm using the CDP with the segmentation to give that, keyword surprise and delight, right? That's what everybody's talking about. So, I don't know that I'm not saying standalone loyalty apps are wrong. It should be a unified experience. So ordering, loyalty, gift, all of that should be in one simple place. And if you can put those offers in there, great. But I can put that offer in an email and I know that more eyeballs are probably going to see it than me trying to convince them to open their app and see it.
So do you see email and other communication tools as an extension of your loyalty program?
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, doesn't have to just live in the app.
No, it does not.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I think for us, we're, on the cusp of doing all of that. And right now we have no personalization for ourselves or for our customers. So that's something that we're definitely looking at. I did, in prepping with our vendor on what we wanted our new interface to look like, mocked up a bunch of different, like my favorite websites and kind of put together, okay, this is what I want ours to look like. And so that's what we're working toward. And yeah, it's got to have that, the personalization to have welcome Julie on the homepage at a minimum. I mean, it should have that at a very minimum.
And that's not a big lift.
No, that's not a big lift. That should be quite simple to do. So yeah, let's see, what else? How much time do we have left? I don't even know what time it is. Do we have 5 minutes? Oh, do we have time for questions then? Do we want to move on to that? All right, well, y'all want to take some questions? Do we have any questions? Oh, what? I can barely see with the lights here.
Okay, so Adam, you had brought up basically I'll say a forum for lack of a better term, of getting together these smaller brands. I would be interested to hear from all three of you. How do you guys feel about working with what are essentially your competitors in doing something that standardizes something and benefits all of you, but does not expose any of your internal corporate or proprietary type?
I mean, and that's what we're doing here right now.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, it's,
most of us do that here with all these. Yeah.
Restaurant Technology Network. Yeah, I'm part of that. So, have you guys looked into that at all? Like Restaurant Technology Network, that's good.
I'm familiar with them, but I'm not a part of it. I think a lot of it is meeting people in this room, and then I might call you in 4 months and be like, I don't know if you remember me, but I remember you're a Paytronics customer. Are you having this problem? Let's band together.
One problem I see with Restaurant Technology Network
Yeah.
is that it's very large.
Right.
And it's a lot of large brands like Yum
Yep.
and that.
Sure.
Whereas what you're talking about, and each of you are really all privately owned, right?
Yep.
You don't have a lot of franchise stores, right? And that's a different animal than when you have franchisees.
No,
Well,
we're
we
not,
are-
we're
They're
90%
all-
franchised,
they're
we're 75% franchised.
and we're 90%.
So,
No franchises.
somebody said they were, I guess it was just.
Yeah, thankfully no franchises. Not that we
Yeah,
it's a great
no,
program, we love it.
But when privately held, and that in itself is a complete difference.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, we're privately held.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's ultimately it's up to us in the room to know each other and to meet at events like this and FS Tech and Mertech and all the other things that we're probably all going to. And it's like I'm a Paytronics customer, they're a Paytronics customer. I talked to another one last night, and it was just like, gosh, that there's 150 units between the two of us. Like we've got to push some weight around. So I think it's up to all of us to share what we can, because in the technology journey, a lot of us are doing similar things, right? We try to customize it to our brands, our guests, our menu, or whatever it is, but we are on similar paths, which is what we talk about. So,
But
yeah,
I think, though, if you asked every single person here, I think every single one of us would have a completely different tech stack.
yes,
We would have
Yeah.
overlapping
Oh, yeah.
vendors here and there, because he and I share the same app vendor, but that's it.
Every chain operates in its own way. Each one is unique, so you would have different tech stacks. And because there's such a broad array that you can choose from, it's just going to naturally fall in.
Yeah.
But can I get a few minutes of your time?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk.
I'd like to talk to you.
Yeah, I think there was a question in the back somewhere.
I think it was you, Julie, that mentioned the 2.5% discount. I'm just curious how you're approaching that with your accountants, your finance team, and your operators, because I'm pretty sure that moves from 1 to 2.5% is pretty staggering.
Yeah.
Just curious about how you're educating them to make them understand that the discounts that we used to see on our balance sheets are a little bit different now, because now they're earned rewards
A little bit. A lot of that happened before I came to the brand. I think I said I've been with the company about 3 years. So when they instigated the rewards program, and Jesse, you may know better than I, when it started, I think it was about 6 years ago. That was when they thought it was going to be about 1%, maybe 1.5%. And then some of our larger volume stores, early adopters of the program, they're the ones that it's approached that 2.5%. A lot of those are corporate stores. So thankfully, that's kind of our own people that understand that. From a franchise perspective, it's some of our older stores, our legacy stores. So they also understand that that is kind of the price of doing business, and that it is, it's that earned, line on there. Nobody wants it to go away because they understand the benefit that they have received, that they're paying for, a percentage of that. But they all want it to be reduced, of course. So nobody has come to me and said, we absolutely have to get this line down. But I know that when they look at their P&L top to bottom, and as we have a company initiative to get our EBITDA better and trying to decrease cost across the entire company, that's one way I know that if we could get a better, smarter loyalty program, we could end up really using that money in a better, smarter way for the brand.
Yeah, that's makes sense. Aaron and I are going to talk about that in a minute. It's just going from these blast discount types of emails where anybody can, get 10% off or whatever your strategy is versus, having to demonstrate specific behaviors through some type of targeted communication.
Yeah.
Know what you can expect or what the propensity is for them to behave in a specific way. But
Yep.
stay tuned.
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to move to with our new loyalty program and our more targeted communication plan as well.
I see it as a cost of doing business, and you build that into your price models. I mean,
Yeah.
I did an analysis right before I came, and so I looked at year to date and then the last 3 years. And so our spend rate and loyalty is 110 basis points, 1.1%, and then this year to date it's 0.7%. So if you're building something from new, you need to understand what you're comfortable with as far as and track that earn versus redeem and the accrued liability, because the accrued liability is what really matters, right? So for me, it's like merchant processing. It's a cost of doing business, and my data tells me all day long that the top quartile of my stores are all above 2% in this redemption rate, and they push the program harder than anybody else because they know it drives traffic. And for me, loyalty is part of the process of engaging that habitual guest. And it's the cost of doing business.
Yeah.
All right, we're about to get
Are we about to
arrested.
get the hook?
The hook.